Hi everyone, it's Rylan. It is Saturday, April 8th, 2018 at 2:38 p.m. And it's been a little bit since I made a video, but here I am. So yeah, all my videos have been like mad heavy lately and about like mental health and what the fuck is going on with my hair. Which is great. I love talking about that stuff. I love informing people about mental health and stuff, but I wanted to make a video today about acting. So a little background. So yes, I'm Rylan Taylor. I'm an actor. I live in New York City, specifically the Bronx. But a nice area, not like the bad, scary areas that everyone just assumes the Bronx is. There's actually very affluent areas in the Bronx. So don't get it twisted. So yes, I live in the Bronx. I finished my acting training about 1.5 years from the Atlantic Theater Company Acting School, which is a school that brought you Spring Awakening. That started at my theater company. Right now on Broadway is The Band's Visit. They do a lot of Martin McDonough plays. If you happen to be an actor and you know who he is, a lot of they produce a lot of his work. So yeah, that's where I went to school, and I finished my training 1.5 years ago. And then before that, I pursued my BFA in musical theater from a college in Wisconsin called the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. So I've had a lot of training. Now I'm in my professional career. I started my professional career actually a month ago in March. And I've been getting work. I'm not going to say consistently because that's a lie. But I'm going to say that I've been getting enough work. More than I thought that I would, having been fresh out of school anyway. At the time, at that time I was working pretty consistently, but then I took some time off, and now I'm back in the game. So yes, that's what's going on. I got to play my dream role back in October. I got to play Constantine in Anton Chekhov's The Seagull. Right now, currently, I'm in a new short play at this queer-focused, accepting theater company. So that's really exciting that I get to work on a new play and create a character from nothing that no one has ever done before. So that's exciting to me. And yeah, besides that, I'm just kind of auditioning. I do have representation. And all that good stuff. So that's kind of just some background of what's going on. So let's get into why I'm making this video. It is not to like brag about what I've been doing. It's to set up that like I've done some things, because that's going to play into why I made this video. So yes, I'm an actor. Besides that, I am transgender. I identify as gender fluid, which simply to me means that I identify as male and female. Sometimes I'm just like neutral and I really don't give a fuck. But yeah, so I'm kind of in the middle, and each day is a little bit different. I go by he, him pronouns solely. I do not go by they, them. I'm not okay with she, her. Only he, him. The only pronouns I'm comfortable with. What else is important? Yeah, so I have days where I'm extremely feminine and I wear wigs and makeup and dresses and present in a typically feminine way. And then I have other days where I'm androgynous and I'm just kind of hanging out. Typically that's like male clothing, but like clothing doesn't have a gender, so like who gives a shit, right? But the problem that I want to talk about is being a gender fluid actor is proving to be somewhat confusing. When I started my professional career back in March, I was I know I knew that I was gender fluid at the time, but I don't know that I was open to playing female roles as well. Because basically, I am okay with playing male or female roles, and then obviously like trans characters, because actually the character that I'm playing in this show right now is non-binary, and they go by they, them pronouns. But I've had a couple auditions where I've auditioned for cis females. But personally, I would rather play male roles. It's just, I'm more drawn to it. I connect deeper to male roles, and like for the 2 years that I was training at my school, I was only playing male roles because I identified solely as FTM. So now that I've kind of like opened the box again to playing female roles, because I have only been solidified in my transgender identity for about 3 years now, all the acting that I did before was when I identified as female. So a great portion of my resume is female roles. So let's get into it. So if we're just looking, basically, before I get to that, what I'm trying to say is it's really confusing to me this is going to sound really stupid, but it's something that I'm struggling with, and I want to talk about it because like things are starting to change in the entertainment industry. I'm getting so many casting notices for non-binary specific people. There's a couple transmasculine roles. When I played Constantine in The Seagull, that was specifically looking for a transmasculine person. But like all the auditions that I've been getting called in for are for like non-binary human beings, which is mind-blowing to me. And that's so beautiful because it's like literally, I'm talking the ratio from like a binary male trans person, so like a trans man, versus like a non-binary role. I would say like the non-binary, it's like 4-1. It's like non-binary and then like 1. So anyway, another thing about me, I was on testosterone for 2 years. I've been off of it for a year, so my face has changed back to a more androgynous state. I haven't gone back to looking completely female as I did before, which I'm confused about, but honestly, I really don't give a shit. So with that being said, the interesting thing is that when I'm being called in for a non-binary role, I have to make the decision on my own, depending on what the script or the character breakdown does or does not say, on what headshot I'm going to use and how I'm going to present for this audition. Now, the main golden rule of being an actor is you need to look like your frickin' headshot. You have to. If you changed your hair color, if you lost a significant amount of weight, whatever, if you cut your hair drastically, you need to have headshots that represent what you're going to look like when you walk into the room. That's just like the golden rule. You have to look like your headshots. Now, when I'm getting called in for a non-binary role, I have to decide whether or not I'm going to present in a full feminine way, which I kind of identify as just being like glam, like kind of glammed out, or whether or not I'm going to present in androgynous fashion, or if I'm going to find somewhere in the middle, which usually to me just will be a mostly masculine way, but maybe like eyeliner or something. So I have 4 different headshots that portray a large range of not only looks, but like gender. So first I'm going to start out with my female presenting headshot. This is me. Now I've lost some weight, so my cheeks are a little chubbier, but this is my female presenting headshot. So if I were to be called in for a cis female, this is what I would use. Now, the problem and the reason I'm making this video is if I'm going in for a non-binary character, I have to decide, is it smart for me to use this picture, or should I go with something that's a little bit more androgynous, such as this picture. I mean, this is like straight up male, but whatever. I have this picture as well that kind of says like, hey, I'm a frat boy. Like, what's that, bruh? So there's that picture as well. Then I like to call this one like the teenage runaway crack addict look. Because this is a very specific look, a very specific character. I also have this, which, you know, that says a lot. There's a lot going on there. And it is pretty feminine, but also androgynous. So there's those. And then there's the picture of me when I was on testosterone and I was full out male. Just like, so I don't look like this anymore. Sadly, I have to retire this picture because I cannot go into a room giving people this picture because I don't really look like that anymore. I just don't. And first, I mean, and my hair is a lot longer than that, but just my face is a lot more masculine in this picture. So this is like out of the question. I can't use that anymore. And then if we look at if we look at my resume, and the characters that I've played, at the training, at the bottom it says all my training. But if we look at the names that are on my resume, it's confusing to try and like assess what gender I am, because like the first one is Constantine. That's from The Seagull. Like that's a male role. Everyone knows that because that play was written in 1854. Like everyone knows that. Then after that, there's a character named Chad. I played Maureen in Rent. Then it gets weird, mostly female roles. And then there's a character named Tony, which was a female role. And then it's like Irma, Patsy, Aggie, Aretha. Then we got down for film. That's mostly been all male. Construction worker, Bryce, trans man, teen boy. So what I'm trying to say is it's really interesting and it's quite a stressful fucking process to know that I'm going into an audition specifically for a non-binary character, and to not only not know what to wear, but also to not know what headshot to use. Because one of my Facebook friends pointed out that they were just like, something like, why don't you just use the picture that represents how you look right now or something? And I had to calmly and respectfully explain to them that I don't have that privilege as a transgender person. Cisgender people, you go ahead, girl. Use your headshot that you paid $500 for that does look how you look. But my gender is constantly changing and evolving, so I do not have the luxury of being able to have one headshot that I can use consistently for every audition. That's not a luxury I have. So I have to get creative and think, do I want to show the complete opposite? If I'm going in there presenting as femme, so like full out makeup, wig, all of it, do I want to show them that I am non-binary and that I can also look like this? Do I want to kind of fuck with what the perception of gender can be, but also ultimately to show the range that I have, to show that like I can be glammed out, that I can look like a cis female, but I can also be extremely androgynous and I can present in a male way. So it is, relatively new, I guess. I mean, I've been, pursuing my career for a year, but I wasn't really auditioning for like non-binary roles, or I suppose maybe not as consistently as I am now, where it's actually like causing consistent stress in my life. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I just wanted to bring this up because I don't know. It's just something that people, I don't even want to say don't talk about, because like how many people have to deal with this problem in the first place? I mean, this is a very like specific problem that I have to deal with. And I mean, I'm not the only non-binary actor. I'm sure other people run into this problem too, but this is my YouTube channel and I wanted to talk about it, because it's very confusing. It is very, very confusing on deciding, because it's like the night before or whatever, and I'm usually deciding what gender to present as, and then I have to decide what headshot I'm going to give. So it's just kind of confusing, but, excuse me. The system that I've been using, that I'm not going to share because it's my secret of how I've been getting all my roles, has been working very well for me. So I'm going to stick with that system and see what, if I keep getting work. Yeah, that's kind of what's going on, is that it's confusing on deciding how to present, because I don't have that privilege that a cisgender actor does, of just being able to have one headshot that explains their whole look. I'm a lot more versatile and complex than that. So it poses some stress. But anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to share my point of view of something that I am coming up against as a transgender actor in the professional acting world, and specifically being a non-binary gender fluid actor. So yeah. All right, have a good day, y'all.